Hello everyone, and welcome back to our hardcore survival series here in Norland. And we do have some more work left to do on the saw shed before we can build it, so I figured I would go over a few things that I missed talking about in the last couple of episodes. So with the hall, it will actually increase its neighbor's comfort bonus by 6. So if you are trying to min-max and you are still having problems with migration and things like that, you may want to have your residential buildings actually circle around the hall. We're not going to do this because personally, I have the migration that I want managed pretty well already, and increasing the comfort any more will increase the amount of migration that we actually get, and we're not going to want that. However, another thing is when it comes to the fields, these longer rectangular ones are actually more efficient space-wise compared to the square ones. As you can see, this is 3 by 8, so that's 24 total squares, and the square ones are 5 by 5, which is 25 squares. I must have miscalculated this when I first looked at them, so I would recommend actually using these rectangular ones. We're not going to replace all the ones that we have because it will be too much of a cost in lumber, but I would highly recommend, if you have not already placed yours, to make sure you're using these rectangular ones. Now, we actually do probably want to place another field of some kind or some other kind of workplace because the saw shed is going to take some time, and we, in the meantime, have, I think it is 4 available jobs, so those are going to get filled in the next day or so. We could go down to this rye field fertility bonus area, but I do not really want to split up our housing yet. We would want to put some houses here and another altar so that they're not all having to go to this altar and then go all the way down to here to be able to work. You basically want to have your workers as close to their work sites as possible. And so if we had any fields here, we would want to basically have another kind of mini town almost going on down here. We don't want to do that yet, so what we're going to do, we're just going to go ahead and place a rye field up here. It will only have a 108 in fertility, which is pretty much fine for me. And it looks like that is probably the only one we can place. Maybe one right here. Could I place one? Yeah, I'm not liking that too much. So if we placed another one in this area, we would probably just go right here, and it would only have the 100 in fertility because we wouldn't be on that fertility bonus spot anymore. But we're going to go ahead and place a manager on that. Is Radivlad doing that? Yeah, he is. Okay, make sure he's doing all these other ones, and hit priority on that, and energized. Okay. We don't want to worry about these carrot fields anymore. We may even get rid of them in this episode. But otherwise, we are just kind of waiting for this saw shed to get finished researching. Since it's Otrada, she should be able to get that done pretty soon. Okay, now our saw shed has finished researching, and we're going to need to get this down right away. And we're going to place it... We could actually place it right about here, but I want to leave this area available for any more lumber mills we might need or anything, maybe even just warehouses. So we're just going to go ahead and place it right alongside our mill, and we will go ahead and make a road. Stone slabs, I think, is what we're using, and just line them up like that, and we're going to prioritize this. Luckily, we do have the iron that we need, and that will take some time, but now, as you can see, we are actually low on carrots, and tomorrow we will actually be out of carrots. I'm going to see if we can't kind of tide this off for a little bit by maybe buying some rutabaga. It's not the best food because they will get rutabaga typhus. Actually, I think because we're Varns, I think they don't get rutabaga typhus anymore. Either way, we are going to buy maybe around 20 of them, and we'll sell a little bit of this iron to make a little bit of that money back, and we can also sell maybe our granary. We probably will be okay without that. Yeah, we should be fine, and that'll get us back to 900, but we will have a little bit of extra food just in case we run out of carrots, which we probably will today or tomorrow. And we're now up to 30 peasants as well. Now, this is going to take a little bit of time, and in the meanwhile, I suppose what we will do, we'll kind of talk about loyalty. And loyalty is basically caused by the opinion of the ruler, and Radivlad and Miramir both kind of don't super love Silvlad right now, which isn't too great. We can fix this by having them spend more time together, or by dicing, or have them hunt together. And I think we're going to have to do another hunt. So we'll have Silvlad and Radivlad actually hunt together. Hopefully they don't get injured or die. I think they will not get killed by wolves anymore, so they should be fine there. And we will have to manage this with Miramir a little bit as well. But these hunts should also help their moods, so that'll be good. And otherwise, that is probably it for the moment. Okay, now the workday is about to start, and very briefly, we're actually going to reactivate this builder's camp and prioritize the working on it so that hopefully we can get some builders in there, and that will get this saw shed built a little bit faster, and as well as that, the mill when we finally have those 10 planks. Okay, the saw shed is ready. I think we're going to go ahead and probably put Silvlad on this one, and we need to right away get started on producing our planks. And we're just going to do 10 for now. We can actually do until, and this will create until we have that much into our storage. Doing X will do the exact number. So this will deplete every time they make one, basically until it runs out, and then they'll stop making them, which is what we want for now, because we only need the 10, and we don't really need to be producing too many of these. Until we have a little bit more workers, we will actually start to, because we can export those planks if necessary. So the next thing is to set mill to build first. We can get rid of this builder's camp again, and unprioritize it. And we want to, for now, prioritize the saw shed. And we can actually start to upgrade this as well. We can set this to build first as well. And that should be good for the moment. Okay, so here we are on the global map, and for the first time we have been requested for assistance. And basically this is a neighbor wanting our help, the help of our army, to defend against some purpose. And in this case, it's threat of vassalage. So basically, Letos, which is one of these neighboring cities over here, is going to try and vassalize Sofia. And Sofia doesn't want that, so they are asking for our help. And I don't know if this came accompanying it or not. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But basically, they also want a peace treaty with us. They're basically trying to, you know, make us more friendly towards them so that we will help them not get taken over. We can accept this peace treaty, and they will just give us 200 gold, and we will have slightly better relations with them. We won't be able to attack them in the meantime, but they won't be able to attack us either. We're going to go ahead and do this. We're not going to send any assistance. It will make them happier towards us, and they will be upset towards us if we don't. But for right now, I'm not too worried about that. We're just going to send Miramir to take that 200 gold. Easy money. If you see these and you are in the early game, it is very good because it's only going to be 10 days. And by the time, you know, you're at day 20, you can attack them again. And by the time you're at day 20, you're probably still building up your army. So it's not going to be a big difference to lose 10 days of being able to attack anybody. Okay, we have gone to the level 2 on the saw shed. This increases the amount of workers and gives us plus 10% to production. We're going to upgrade it again, get that third worker, get another 10% to the production, and it looks like we're not going to get the planks until maybe mid part of tomorrow. Now, unfortunately, the day is just about over, and we're not going to have enough rutabaga and carrots to actually feed everybody. What we do need to do is go ahead and set up rutabaga going to all of our peasants, and do the same for our warriors. And we're going to need to buy more from the trader. Luckily, the trader did show up. We're going to need we're probably going to want to get some carrots and some rutabaga so that it can be split up a little bit. In the future, maybe for you guys, you might want to do the carrots for a little bit longer. I have no problem pushing for the rye right away, the flour right away. And luckily, we do have 5 planks already, so we pretty much should be able to get at least some flour done tomorrow. So we're going to go ahead and send Radivlad over to the trader and try to get a little bit of food for everybody. Okay, and luckily we did get the 200 gold into our coffers here, so we could actually even buy a little bit of flour. The flour costs 9, the rutabaga costs 6, and it doesn't look like they have any any carrots in stock, unfortunately. So we're just gonna buy 10 on the flour, and we're gonna buy 20 on rutabaga, and we can sell a little bit more iron because we do need some. We need probably at least 5 extra right now, so we will do that and send 174 to them, and now they should have enough food to get through today. And we can go ahead and go to our economy, and we can divide a little bit of this flour up, but I think we're just going to keep the 10 flour around to feed our lords. Now, our raw materials are getting very close to being full, so we're actually going to unsnooze this warehouse as well. We're not going to set it to build first. They will just get to it whenever they do. They haven't gone to the rye field as far as the builders go, so it may take them some time. But they have finished upgrading all of our residential houses, all up to level 3 now. So this will keep all of our peasants nice and happy, even when they are a little bit low on food. We don't want to let them starve, but if they're a little low on food for a day or so, they should be okay. Okay, and also, Altar has become common knowledge. So basically, I don't know who actually knows it because it no longer shows in the knowledge screen. But basically, if you only had one person who knows it and then they die, you would lose the altar after a few days after they die. That won't happen anymore because basically we've had it long enough and now it's become common knowledge in the city. So that is a nice change. I'm glad that they did that, and so now we don't have to worry about losing the altar at any point. Okay, and we have our first child. Rasta has been born to Otrada in Silvlad, so we have a daughter. And we're just going to keep her name as the same, but we do want to start educating her. And let's say we will probably just go for a general training. I mostly go for general training, training rather. The only exception to that is if you have a combat focused character, let's say Silvlad, and you had you wanted to do a very long campaign and you were expecting your king to die during it. Or whoever is going to be your combat command-focused character. If you're expecting them to die, it may be good to train your heir in combat, just to have them be your successor in that sense. But otherwise, general training usually is fine to just get them whatever skills the person who's training them is best at. And that's what we're basically going to go for. If she's intelligent and has an okay persuasion skill, that should be perfectly fine for our daughter. Now, because we are expecting to be able to build our mill today, finally, we're going to go ahead and unsnooze the builder's camp and prioritize it. That way, basically, as soon as we get the lumber, we're going to hit this ship the produced goods button once the 4 that we need have been ordered. I think they will actually go automatically since we've ordered the exact amount, and they will hopefully bring them back to the warehouse right away, and then they should start building this mill, and that will get that built. And it's already up to 66% thanks to our builders actually apparently building the basic part of the structure, which is nice. So they just need to build the plank part, and then we can finally get our flour going. So just like that, one of our rye fields has been done by our builders, who are happily working to build up our city while we wait for the mill to get ready. And the warehouse is also done, which gives us, look at that, 700 total storage for wood, which will be very good for later to be able to store that much. Okay, now it looks like they have finished producing all of these planks, so we're going to go ahead and send that. We're going to deprioritize this. They can do basically anything else. Yep, that's done producing. So hopefully, I don't know where the rest of the planks are exactly. Hopefully they didn't use them on something else. I don't know what they could have used them on. I don't believe you can use them on fields. Did they get used on this warehouse somehow? I don't think they could have, no. I'm not really sure where the rest of these planks are right now then. Okay, so it seems all the planks are now in the warehouse, so we should be okay. We are now over our capacity on vegetation, so we may want to make ourselves a granary. And if we do, we're going to want to place it somewhere over here, maybe just right here. And we'll set that to build first, but we can go ahead now. This is already at 83%, so as soon as those planks get over there, we should have enough builders to take care of that pretty quickly. So we'll just snooze the builders camp and all that again. And we just need to wait until the morning, and we should finally have our mill going. But that does mean that people are going to starve for the one day. We could buy some food at the trader. I don't know how much I want to spend. Not very much. And currently rutabaga is increased on price, and we still have no carrots here. So that does seem like we're just going to have to take the one day of food loss. And hopefully nobody is too upset about that. It will impact our migration for a day or so, but we should rebound pretty quickly once we have that flour. Now, because I forgot, I'm going to go ahead and energize and prioritize the rye field, and we're also going to snooze the saw shed, I think, just because the workers are still on it, and I don't want to manually prioritize every single camp. So this will get the workers off of that saw shed now, and we should have enough workers on everything else. We could even put some back on the builder's camp, but I'm not too worried about it at the moment. Okay, and we finally have the mill done, so we're going to get probably Silvlat on this as well. Prioritize it for sure. I guess we do need the planks for upgrading the mill, so we are going to start that once we have enough planks. We'll just go ahead and unsnooze that, I suppose, but we want to prioritize that mill, and we want to go and do until X. And I always set this to a pretty high number for anything that is a necessity, so we're just going to set this way up. And we will also be trading that as well, so we want to definitely have as much flour as we can pretty much handle. Prioritize, as I said. We could even start to build another one, but I think we want to upgrade the one that we have first. Yeah, it'll be basically the same cost and everything, and we'll get an extra worker on it, as well as get that 10% to the boost, production boost. So we're also going to prioritize energetic on this, and now we just need to wait for them to produce some flour. One worker is not going to produce flour too fast, but they should make a decent amount. And we'll go ahead and take the rutabaga off of here, and we will give them flour daily, just to the peasants and to the warriors. Okay, we do have some idle people working on the saw shed here, so we're going to go ahead and put up some planks. And we will just do until, maybe until 20, of the maximum at 20. And otherwise, I think that is probably going to be where we're going to call it for this episode. We really need to work on Miramir's mood in the next episode, because he is starting to get upset. He could go into depression, and that would not be too good. He could go into madness, which would be especially bad. Although he's not really doing too much, so I guess it wouldn't be the worst thing. But it still is kind of annoying having your lords go crazy like that. Currently, we have 10 flour already made on the day. Looks like we might get 5 or so more. That's not going to be enough for everybody, but it should rebound our mood pretty well. And otherwise, we have all of our level 3 homes. We have a pretty good amount of rye being produced. I think these 5 fields should suffice until we have around 50 in peasants. At that point, we're going to need to expand how many houses we have, and we will also, of course, need more warehouses. We're going to need probably at least 3 mills, I think, to really feed our growing city. And this saw shed is probably going to be needing to stay going at all times. Luckily, you do have 3 workers on it, and we have plenty of workers at this point. So that is going to be it for now. And I hope you guys are enjoying the series. Let me know what you think. If you have any extra tips, feel free to post those in the comments as well. And as always, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.